Top 10 most beautiful presidential palaces in Africa. Top 10 most beautiful presidential palaces in Africa. So these are the countries with the most beautiful presidential palace. When you talk of presidential palace, these are the homes or the presidential areas or the offices of the president, where the president run his day-to-day activities. These are the places we call the presidential homes. In Africa, they have different names for these presidential palaces. And currently, these are the top 10 most beautiful presidential palaces in Africa. Coming at the 10th position is Uganda. And then Uganda presidential palace is called State House. State House. This is an ancient building which was renovated in 2007. 2007. It is an old building which is renovated in 2007, and it's so beautiful. And currently, it is the 10th most beautiful presidential palace in Africa. The 9th most beautiful presidential palace in Africa is Senegal. Senegal has the 9th most beautiful presidential palace in Africa. And then the presidential palace in Senegal is called Palais de la République. It's a French word, so if I didn't pronounce it well, forgive me. Palais de la République. That is how the Senegalese presidential palace is called. It was built in 1907 and it has been renovated severally to fit the current modern structure. It's so beautiful, as you can see on the screen. Very beautiful presidential palace. Coming at the 8th position is Mauritania. Yes, Mauritania is the 8th country with the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa. And then Mauritania's presidential palace is called Presidential Palace. Yes, that is how they call it. They call it Presidential Palace. And it was built in 1960 and it has been renovated severally. So as you can see, it's so nice and it is the 8th most beautiful presidential palace in Africa. Moving on to number 7. Number 7 on the list, the number 7th country with the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa is Sudan. Sudan is the 7th country with the most beautiful presidential palace. And then the Sudanese presidential palace is called Republic Palace. It was built in 1832. 1832. So it has been renovated to fit the current system. That is why you could see how beautiful it is. It was built in 1932 and it is called Republic Palace. The 6th country on the list is Madagascar. Yes, Madagascar is the 6th country as the 6th country with the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa. Then the Madagascar presidential palace is called Lavoloha Palace. Lavoloha Palace, and it was built in 1975. 1975. Lavoloha Palace. It was built in 1975. It's so beautiful. All these presidential palaces have been renovated to fit the current system. The 5th country with the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa is Ghana. Ghana comes 5th on the list today as one of the countries with the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa. Ghana's presidential palace is called Flagstaff House. Ghana's presidential palace is called Flagstaff House. It was built in 2008 as part of Ghana's 50th independence celebration. During that period, that was when the building was constructed. So it is called the Flagstaff House, and currently it is the 5th most beautiful presidential palace in Africa. 4th on the list is Namibia. Namibia is the 4th country on the list with one of the most beautiful presidential palaces in Africa. Namibia's presidential palace is called State House. It is called State House and it was also built in 2008. Yes, Namibia's presidential palace was built in 2008. It is beautiful, as you can see on the screen. So beautiful. 3rd country on the list is South Africa. South Africa is the 3rd country on the list as one of the countries with the most beautiful presidential palaces in Africa. South Africa comes 3rd. The South African presidential palace is called Malamba Ndlovu. Malamba Ndlovu. That is how the South African Presidential Palace is called. It was built in 1940. It was built in 1940. So it is also an old structure. All the structures you see are old, which has been renovated to fit the current system. It is only the Ghanaian and then the Namibian presidential palaces that was currently built. Apart from that, all the rest was built by their ancestors or their forefathers, and it has been renovated by the current crop of leaders in those countries. So South Africa is the third country with the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa. The second country with the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa, the second country or the country that is second on the list is Egypt. Yes, Egypt. And Egypt's presidential palace is called Abdin Palace. Abdin Palace. That is how the Egyptian presidential palace is called. It was built in 1874. Yes, an ancient building. 1874. That was when the Egyptian presidential palace was built. It is an old building which has been renovated. Very beautiful and nice presidential palace you found out there in Egypt. If you like a list like this and you want more, kindly subscribe, like, comment, and share our video for others. First on the list, the country with the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa is Cameroon. Yes, the country with the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa is Cameroon. Then the Cameroonian presidential palace is called Unity Palace. Unity Palace. It was built in 1982, an ancient building which has been renovated severally to fit into the current system and makes it so beautiful and tops the list as the most beautiful presidential palace in Africa. Was your country mentioned or not? Let us know and hear from you in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it and you want more of it, kindly share, comment, like, and subscribe to our page. Thank you. See you in our next video.